Hi, beauty family. So this is Rain checking in and doing an update on my palettes. So I have been trying to do a weekly palette in my makeup stash. I'm not doing that anymore because it was just too hard. I'm going to start doing a monthly one. And I thought, okay, maybe I can do it by brand and pick one brand a month and use their products, and that way I can enjoy them, figure out what I like, what I don't like. And as I started pulling things out and remembering where things were, I realized I have more palettes than I actually counted. Now, that's for two reasons. One, there are palettes in here I didn't count because I plan on giving them away. And when I initially did my count, I said, well, I'm not going to use these. I plan on giving them away, so I won't include them in my count. Two, I found my travel bag. I keep this in my suitcase, and in it I had two more palettes that I only use when I'm traveling because I thought, oh, I'll use these specifically for traveling and use them up. Not really the best idea because it isn't like I travel constantly. I also remembered my Alice Through the Looking Glass palette that I don't use, but I do keep just because I like the packaging and it's kind of decoration, as well as my Little Women from my subscription box that I started in December from Storybook Cosmetics. So, if I include all of the palettes I have that I plan on giving away, and the palettes that I found because I don't use them and stuck them in places where I forgot about them, I have a total of 65 palettes. And that is still being generous because I only counted my eyeshadow singles as 4. And in reality, there's a lot more in here than you would have in a single palette. Like I depotted several ColourPop palettes and put them in here and in here, and I think there's a Juvia's Place palette in here, but I just counted them as 4. So that there's, I'm sure, even more in there. So I have 65 palettes in total, not 51. So even though I'm not starting over my no-buy, I am starting a real tally of my numbers to include what I just said, because if I'm going to give stuff away, then I need to give it away. And this is actually what I have in my most likely giving away pile. I just look at them and I know I could probably use them sometimes, but I really do have this stuff already. And then I have these. These two were actually the ones in my travel bag that I have not used. I'm pretty sure I got this in a boxy, look, the mirror's broken, charm, or maybe, I don't know, or maybe I got it in a Ipsy bag. I'm not really sure where I got this. And then a Tarte palette. It's my Ray Ray. If I did get rid of this, there are things I would depot out of it. I like some things and don't like other things. I didn't care for the Pure palette, and then I ended up getting 2 because I did that Summer's Eve box. That's where I am right now. So one of the reasons I was pulling out everything was to kind of organize it and see what I could do monthly. But then also, I was really, really wanting to buy a palette. I was just itching and just wanting to get that Venus palette. I wasn't going to break my no-buy, but I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And I was like, okay, let me go through my palettes and remind myself how much makeup I have that I have not used. And I have things here that are still in the box. I have lots of stuff that's still in the box that I have never even opened. I honestly bought this purely because it is Pride and Prejudice and zombie themed. I don't know how good this is, but I love zombies and I love anything supernatural. And I actually enjoyed this book very much. I also like the original by Jane Austen. So there we go. Like I said, I still have things in the box that I have not used, and or in bubble wrap or whatever. So I don't need another palette as much as I want that Venus palette. And why do I want it? Because it has those really pretty greens in it, and I think that they just look beautiful. And will I buy that palette at some point? Most likely I will. But I don't need it right now. I have more than enough makeup to keep me satisfied. Like, look at my greens that I have in here. These are all, I should say the majority of these are from Sydney Grace. I'm not sure if all of them are. This is the No Joke palette that they did because of the Tarte April Fool's Day. And then their Gemini dupe from Melt Cosmetics. And I love the Sydney Grace formula. I have greens in here. I have greens in other places too. But I hope I don't need to do this every time I start getting antsy for something. And I'm really trying to recognize why I feel the need to buy something. And I'm understanding more and more, that it just gives me a temporary feeling of excitement and joy that is not long lasting. And I can't keep going like this. There are lasting and more pure, substantial joys, joy in my family, joy in my hobbies, which makeup is kind of a hobby for me, but buying makeup shouldn't be a hobby. The application and the wearing and trying different things, I could see where that would be a hobby, and I do really enjoy it, but buying makeup should not be a hobby. Makeup is not an investment, or not a good investment for me at least, because it doesn't last very long. Most of the shelf life on this stuff is a year, maybe a year and a half. I've had some of this way longer than a year and a half, but you know what I'm talking about. So this was just kind of a reminder for me of what the heck is going on inside of my brain. And I went through everything I have, my drawers, my purses, under my bed, because I was like, I do not want to miss anything else. So except for whatever I receive in my BoxyCharms throughout the year and my Storybook cosmetic subscriptions, this is what I have. And I need to find joy in my subscription boxes, and not be so worried about the stuff that I want to buy that I don't have. And I know I'm only a month in. I started December 18th. Today's like the 23rd or 24th. And I know it's harder in the beginning, and it should hopefully get easier. But this is just a great reminder of why I'm on a no-buy, and this is just eyeshadow palettes. These aren't even the rest of my single shadows that are in like their own little containers. They're not in Z palettes. So, thanks for checking in with me, guys. This is overwhelming and just really strange, but I'm going to get through it, and I really do appreciate the encouragement that I get in the comments. So if you're going through a no-buy with me, if you're feeling the itch, if you're feeling good about it and you're not having any issues, leave me a comment, and also let me know what your social media is. I love connecting with people, and we can just encourage each other and hold each other accountable. So there we go. Have a wonderful day. And now I am going to put away all this makeup before my husband gets home and realizes what a mess things are.